What's up, y'all? This is the first day of being done with a strength block for a while, so I'm kind of just excited. I just decided to just make it an arm day, man. Biceps, triceps, just get in and just really have some fun with it. So I think here I was just working with some 30s, just kind of warming up the biceps a little bit and stuff. And these are the perfect opportunities. Just get in. Like, this is why I chose an arm day. It's just like, what guy doesn't want to go in and just get a pump? You know what I mean? Just go hit the gym, get those muscles pumped up, go eat a bunch of protein afterward, and know you're doing what you're supposed to do. I had a 12-week strength program I just got off of. If you guys haven't seen that, go check it out. Did pretty well, hit some PRs over there, so that was fun. But the last 4 weeks of that, they can get kind of grindy, because you're going in and you're working on a lot of the same stuff again and again and again, and so it was nice to just come in and just have fun with it, just I could just walk in and I didn't feel obligated to follow any program, just come on in and have some fun, and that's originally how it is walking into the gym for the first time. And well, maybe the first time for you is intimidating, but the first time you really start enjoying it is kind of what it felt like today for me, was just walking in and just like, all right, this is my home, like let me just do whatever I want to do, so yeah, doing some bicep, tricep there, and always like to superset just to get in and out. I killed this workout in about, I'd say, 40 minutes or so, and it's leaving about, doing the superset and then leaving about a 2.5 minute rest break in between, and that can go anywhere from a minute and a half up to 3 minutes. I mean, if I'm being honest, sometimes those creep up into 3 minutes, but you can really rip through a workout much quicker than you think you can. It doesn't have to be. I probably could have even shaved it down to 30 minutes had I really pressed it. And I know a lot of people want to talk about fully letting the muscle recover in between sets and catching your breath and all this kind of stuff, but to me, that's not what it's about. It's about getting after it. It's about pushing myself. It's about keeping my cardio ability better. I'm not just trying to grind myself to like a bodybuilding stage and just follow every guideline of hypertrophy. I mean, that's what I'm doing today. This is a hypertrophic workout. I have no idea if I said that word right, but basically it's a muscle building workout. Let's call it what it is. And so yes, a lot of the bodybuilding things could apply. I suppose I could not go take a cold shower after this, and I could not go, whatever all the other little rules are. Maybe I'm not getting the maximum stretch on the muscle and working the eccentric to its fullest and slow on the eccentric. And, there's a million little science rules that we can get into, but it really, you will see results if you go to the gym and are consistent. And if you want to build muscle, eat protein-filled foods, and if you're eating your body weight in grams of protein, you will build a shitload of muscle. Simple as that, and yes, you do want the carbs for fuel. You want to keep glucose in your muscles up, you want to stay properly hydrated, but if you're eating in a caloric surplus and lifting weights, in a rep scheme of 8 to 12, going strictly for hypertrophy, you will build muscle. It's as simple as that, and there's a million ways to skin a cat. The main thing is just about being consistent, so I hear so much online of people talking about the exact way that things need to be done, and for me, if I tried to follow all those rules, I would just fall off the program. There's absolutely no way that I'd feel guilty all the time about breaking this rule, that rule, this rule, that rule. It's I don't know. Maybe I'm just more into. Maybe I believe a little bit more of the gym bro science. I mean, I do, like, when I am doing hypertrophy, I do think about the stretch on the muscle and things like this that I know, things that I notice after my workout. I definitely try to lean into those, and I definitely do think there's a lot of the science-based lifting that's very applicable, and I do take a lot from that, but a certain amount of it is just for me, I'll speak for myself, a certain amount of it for me is just getting in there and just getting the work done, and I like to push myself. I don't like to sit down in between sets and just rest for a really long time. I like to get up and just get the work done, like that to me is the fun part, is kind of testing what those boundaries are, and sometimes I'll do sets and things like that, and I'll go jump on the Echo bike and just do a 20 or 30 second sprint in between sets and stuff like that, and just challenge yourself in different ways, and you look at me, and I am relatively out of shape here. I've put on a substantial amount of weight in my last block, just gearing towards strength, but I'm more cardiovascularly fit than I would than my body shape might might tell a person, you know, and that's because I do make an extra effort to push myself on things like that, you know. So here we are, just switched it up to some hammer curls, you know, and I think we're still, maybe we go into skull crushers here or something like that, but again, this is just rolling through the movements, you know, and especially if I'm not doing compound movements, if I'm just doing like muscle isolation work and just like hypertrophy, I'm absolutely going to superset everything. I mean, sometimes I throw in a third exercise in there and, you know, we'll go hit like back extensions or leg raises or just whatever, like throw some core work in there or throw some grip work in there, or just, you know, there's a million things, just calf raises, you know, there's a million things that are very easy to like throw a third into a superset. I'm sure there's some name for a three exercise superset, but whether it be 2, 3, 4, however many you're doing, you're going to speed your time in and out of the gym by doing that. So yeah, just knocking out these skull crushers. Whenever I'm doing tricep work, obviously unless I'm going for maxes, I find that for myself, over 12 reps is generally more ideal than like 10. Like this was 2 days ago now, as of my voice recording and uploading of this, and I'm definitely still feeling the triceps, you know, and I know there's some muscle getting built there. So, you know, during this next block, I'd also encourage anybody that is working on strength and things like that to take a break from strength from time to time. You know, it's not just year round. You know, you're not going to just build your strength and just peak your deadlift year round. It's just not sustainable. You know, that's a way to injure yourself, to give yourself a break to drop a little bit of body weight or put on a little bit of muscle, or, you know, work on some dynamic stuff, some sprint work, some speed work, you know, and switch it up. But don't just be in the mindset of I'm going to always get stronger. Allow your body and those soft tissues in there to recover. And for me personally, I found a lot more success from that, and I have learned that information through people that are much smarter than me and have gone to school and for the purposes of fitness and things like that. And I found much more success with periodizing my work, as opposed to just, you know, you think you're going to go into the gym and just lift max weights every time, and it just isn't sustainable. You will burn out, or you will get injured, you know. So it's whichever one comes first, and I think nobody wants either one of those, you know. So for me, the burnout is definitely real too. You know, it's going in and doing the same thing in there every time, and it just gets tiresome. It gets tedious, you know. It's like, get me out of here, you know. I want to do something else. I see all you other guys out there on YouTube doing all the fun stuff, and I'm like, damn, man, I want to switch it up. I'm tired of coming in here and squatting every single week. Back squat, sets of 3, sets of 5, you know, pause. Every which way you can do a squat, I did a squat, you know. And over a 6-month period, it's like, you know, and I don't know about you guys, but I like to work out at least at minimum 3 or up to 5 times in a week, you know. And if you're just doing the same crap every time, it can get pretty old. Oh yeah, here's me goofing around. Check that out. Yeah, it's amazing bicep there, Will. You might want to shed a little bit of body fat so you can actually determine whether or not that's bicep or just fried chicken. But we're working on it, you know, and I am also a believer in, yes, I can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. Those two things are they do not have to be exclusive. They can happen at the same time. It's about being in a caloric deficit while still keeping enough protein and enough hydration to gain muscle. And, you know, that's another thing we could touch on real quick is, you know, I don't know the exact numbers on it, but there is a vast majority of folks, even gym goers, that are not hydrated properly. They're not drinking enough water and taking in enough salt. So it's like, if you go to the gym a lot, you're sweating a lot. You're sweating out a ton of your electrolytes. Salt is an electrolyte. And, you know, you can take in a lot of water while you're at the gym, but you also have to take in water after the gym. You know, make sure you're getting enough carbs as well, which is obviously something I'm going to be backing off on. But, you know, muscles are made up predominantly of water. So if you're not getting enough water and you're dehydrated, if your goal is to build muscle, you're shooting yourself in the foot every time, you know. If you're taking 5 to 10 grams of creatine a day and staying really properly hydrated, you're going to find a lot of success, you know. And I know there is a ratio, I forget exactly what it is, but it's like pounds of body weight. I think the minimum is like you should be drinking about half of your pounds of body weight in ounces of water. I try to do more than that. You know, I'm well over, I'd say a gallon, at least over a gallon and a half of water a day. I drink generally 30 ounces of water several times a day, just with different vitamins and things like that, as well as at meals I'll drink 30 ounces. So it adds up, you know, and I would encourage anybody that's regularly working out, just check on that, you know, check on that. If you're feeling tired, if you're feeling sluggish, if you're not seeing the gains that you might think you should, your muscles might just not be full. You know, you just need to be nice and full and round with those muscles. And just like that one right there, man, if it was so nice we had to show you twice. No, I'm just goofing around, but yeah, you know, it's just fun to get in there and do it. And you know, if you see this video, I haven't really clipped anything out of it other than, you know, the sit down time, which is about 2 minutes, you know, about 2.5, you know, maybe sometimes 3 minutes, and this video being about 16 minutes long, it tells you how long my workout was. It was not long to get in there and just rip through this, you know. And I think I threw in, other than the bicep tricep, I think I threw in like some just really pathetic dead hangs at the end, and my grip was just totally shot from holding these dumbbells and doing all the push down work and stuff, you know. So my grip was pretty gone, and those didn't turn out as well as we'd hoped, but that's okay, you know what I mean. It's just it's about staying after it and staying consistent. But yeah, again, if you're looking to build and be bigger, you're going to have to eat to do that, and you're going to have to eat enough protein. Now, you know, it's like, I think people tend to, you know, we're going to go on a bulk, okay, so that means now suddenly it's all burgers, pizzas, nachos, burritos, you know, big fat Subway sandwiches and things like that, and it's like, that's totally unnecessary, you know. You'd rather your bulk be slower. I mean, being like a 200 to 300 calorie surplus per day or something like that is going to get you there just as well. And even for myself, you know, I didn't put on the weight and size and even the gut that I have here through crappy food. You know, I'll eat out a meal like about once a week. Other than that, around my house, it's whole grains, it's like ground turkey, very little even ground beef unless it's lean ground beef. You know, I will do pork, a lot of chicken, a lot of vegetables in the food, but yeah, all whole grains, all whole wheat, you know, things like this, so that the muscle and the size that you're putting on, you want it to be quality size and muscle. And you know, my biggest vice is honestly just a sweet tooth, you know. And like I've kind of mentioned before, is being in recovery, being a former addict and an alcoholic, is I do have that addictive personality, so I can make food something that I really go to. But as long as I pour it into dieting and working out, I can also cut really quickly as well. And you know, that's what I intend to do for these next couple of months, is just cut down to a body weight I feel more comfortable at, get a little bit faster. You do a little bit of speed work along with some hypertrophy. And, you know, when I come back, I'm going to look to smash some more PRs, you know, on my next strength block. And we'll see if I stick with, I'm definitely going to keep, the incline may go for a little while. My incline press, I may turn that into a flat press or an overhead press just to switch things up. I'm a little bit bored of the incline now, so we'll see what we do with that. But probably I would think the squat and deadlift will both stay. I may switch the squat to a front squat just for fun, or maybe something like a Zercher or something that's really going to help my low back and core, because you know, as you can see, I'm pretty much, I have like I'm a shorter person anyway, but I have a long torso and short legs is where my height deficiency, we will call it, comes in, is I have short legs, you know, which makes it ideal for squatting. But things like deadlifting and stuff, I have a long core that can be, you know, something that has to be worked around and extra strengthened to compensate for that. So yeah, you know, I would just encourage you guys, you know, if you're getting bored with your you know, your regimen and what you're doing, switch it up. It's time to change it up. You know, if you're not seeing progress on your numbers, or you feel like you're going in and you're picking up little you know, little aches and pains and things like that, and your tendons aren't feeling like they should, you know, it's time to back off. It's time to back off. And for me, hypertrophy block is the easiest way to do that. It's just pumps blood into those muscles, and, you know, just make sure you're not overdoing it. Don't get that, what they call like junk volume, where you've already got your pump. It's time to just head out, you know what I mean? And it's like, you've already accomplished what you need to accomplish. Don't sit in there and just rip the joints harder. You know, that leaves those joints feeling really sore. And I've noticed, you know, especially, like I said, I'm 37. So as I get a little bit older, I've noticed the joints don't, you got to be a little bit more gentle on them. You know, you got to be a little bit more gentle. And yeah, these dead hangs were just pathetic today. Normally I can get much better times than these. I can, even at my current body weight of, you know, pushing 270, I could still get at least a minute, and these were like 30 seconds. I mean, my grip was just gone today, you know, and I don't even think that was 30 seconds. That might have been 20 seconds. I don't know what set that was, but I thought my first set I got 40 seconds. I don't know if I recorded it or not, but yeah, anyway, just bad. But you know, it's just going in there and sticking with it and staying consistent. But yeah, so I would just throw this one on here and just give you guys some ideas about kind of where my training's going, and I'm just going to be for a little while in the zone of just kind of shaking things up, man, doing what feels right when I get in there. And yeah, I'd encourage anybody that's kind of getting stagnant on their routine to go out there and do the same. But yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Go out there and take care, guys.